Now, I don't know about you guys, but I think it's become quite apparent that Star Wars has really hit a new low, especially with the new upcoming 2026 New Jedi Order film, as many fans are calling it the Rey movie because it stars Daisy Ridley as quote-unquote Rey Skywalker. As much as I hate to say it, that is exactly what she's going to be called in this movie, as confirmed by Daisy Ridley and director Sharmeen Obaid-Chinnoy. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. So, as I said yesterday, they might as well call this film Star Wars Episode 10. It takes place 15 years after the events of The Rise of Skywalker, for those of you that did not know about this. It's all about Rey rebuilding the Jedi Order from the ground up and training a handful of students. There's no word about what kind of foes we will face in this movie, but regardless, we know that this film is tainted with Kathleen Kennedy's nonsense and Bob Iger's push for DEI that's only plaguing this film further. Now, we know one thing about Daisy Ridley is that she has been getting very defensive over this film for, of course, obvious reasons. She's not getting a lot of work in the film industry, let alone significant work, right? I feel Adam Driver is the only one that really succeeded at a Star Wars, and maybe, on the side, a little bit of Oscar Isaac. He got some roles as well. But what's interesting about all of this has a lot to do with director Sharmeen Obaid-Chinnoy and her overall view of the fandom and the current backlash going against this film. Now, with Disney, of course, dealing with the backlash from the upcoming Rey movie by director Sharmeen Obaid-Chinnoy, one major development has to do with her response to the ongoing backlash related to the upcoming 2026 Star Wars film by delivering the following. I am not surprised by any level of pushback from a certain demographic that may feel frightened about how we are changing who is making and starring in these films. But I think it's an excellent move by Kathleen Kennedy and what Bob is allowed to do to really lead the women in charge of a galaxy far, far away. It's pretty damn exciting to be working on this as a director, and I think to all the naysayers about our direction with expanding the adventures of Rey, really need to keep quiet and tighten those lips because harsh words only spoil the fun for others. I think that's the one obstacle that we deal with in this community, is that there are many fans who feel Star Wars belongs to them, but it really belongs to the creator and their vision and what they are able to deliver to the audience. And if it's accepted or denied universally, well, then we deal with that process then and cross that bridge when it comes to it. I think it's an unfair world that we live in when you have a female director getting criticized for her work, but this is only making me push harder for what I want to establish in this ever-evolving universe that holds endless possibilities. I stand by my past statements that I believe it's time for a woman to really lead this franchise, both on the creative end and within the story. So guys, let me stop there for 1 second. So does she not realize that there were 3 movies that featured a female? And that, of course, was all about the character of Rey, played by Daisy Ridley. There's no need to make another Rey-focused film. And some people are saying that this is not going to be a Rey-focused film, and yes, that is somewhat true, kind of. To really kind of elaborate on that, Rey is going to be more or less of a supporting character, but she's going to be in the limelight. She's going to be there. She's going to be a big part in this film. But it is about these new characters being guided by Rey. That's what it's really all about. So, Sharmeen, of course, is just putting things out there that as if this was never done before, that a woman was never the focus in Star Wars movies properly, or that we've never had female directors before. And we've had that with the Kenobi series, we've had that with the Mandalorian, so it's nothing really new. And this is yet again another Kathleen Kennedy push, another push by Bob Iger with everything related to DEI, which I always say is hypocritical and contradictory in nature. And it's all a lie, because it's never coming from a genuine place, not let alone an artistic place, because they're not focusing on art, they are indeed focusing on ideology. And I've said this many times, Bob Iger always says this, we focus on art over ideology, when in reality, it's actually quite flipping that upside down. Now, moving onward, she goes on to continue. We have some great characters that I think will promote women properly with the help of Rey, and this really is going to be a new chapter that fans have never seen before. I believe feminism is very important, and Star Wars is a great outlet to explore that. Those that are opposed to that really need to keep damaging opinions to themselves, because it doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help loyal fans or the creators behind these projects, which is why we had to let go from George's vision to really chase something new and original that will hold a different tone. Getting to work with Stephen Knight has been the thrill of my entire career. What Kathleen Kennedy has given us the chance to work with is going to be incredible. This is a story for women and by women, and I think everyone should accept that and come to terms with it. There have been plenty of male heroes in the Star Wars films that we feel it was time for a change completely. Kathy's direction with these new movies are going to be incredible, and I am truly honored to be working on the first one to release just a short number of years from now. Rey and the new characters we will be touching on have so much potential, and it's refreshing to move from the Skywalker legacy to embrace a new beginning for our fans. Now again, there you have it. Moving away from the Skywalker legacy. Focusing on Rey. All this nonsense that really just is going to drive Star Wars into the ground officially. And to be honest with you guys, we'll have to wait and see if this movie even gets made. Because look, Kathleen Kennedy and everyone else over at Lucasfilm have had a terrible track record when it comes to announcing movies and canceling movies. Alright, so first, this movie was supposed to begin production in May of 2024, this year, and that already is delayed, and it's not looking good either. Which means they're most likely going to delay it until 2027 now. We've had at least 10 Star Wars movies that have been announced and cancelled, which is just completely pathetic on Disney and Lucasfilm's part. It's something that you would never see by any other production studio out there, and yet this is Lucasfilm's legacy, announcing movies and canceling them. And like I said before, don't be too shocked if this movie falls into pretty much, a limbo mode where it just stays in early development for many years until they kind of just say, yeah, we're not doing that anymore. But again, Sharmeen is really just throwing this in the face of George Lucas fans, throwing this in the face of fans that just want pure fun entertainment, good Star Wars material, right? Something that we have not seen in years, mind you. I think that what Star Wars has become is that there are many instances where it's like a dangling of the carrot, where they throw in a certain cameo, or they throw in a specific storyline that you think is going to get expanded, and it doesn't. I think the biggest one of all was how they dangled the carrot of Luke Skywalker in Mando Season 2 and the Book of Boba Fett, only to vanquish that overall approach completely. And it's not all about Luke, I understand that, but from where Sharmeen is coming from, this is obviously an attack on George Lucas fans and what Star Wars is truly about. So overall, I would love to hear what you all have to say about Daisy's overall view on things, and in this instance, Sharmeen's view on the fans and Star Wars. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.